Hello, I'd like to share with you on the Jing of the Tao sets. There are 5 types of Jing in Tao sets, and Jing I translate it as force flow. It is the 5th element of the 6 core elements. With the 6 core element is defined as the physical body, which including the joints or the 7 bowls, and then the mind, the breathing, the qi, the jing or force flow, and the momentum. So these 6. Okay. For jing or force flow, what we're dealing with is based on the action and reaction force. Okay, so you can see the action and reaction force. The actions and reaction force are actually the core of the Jing. Okay, now I translate now as a force flow, but later on, if people want to get to a better translations, I'm perfectly 100% support with it. However, right now we need to start somewhere, okay? And it's more important I try to present to you what exactly happened there and what can be developed than focus on the naming right now, okay? Because in my mind, if you can develop it, call it whatever you like, okay? So I'll try to describe with you what happened, what I understand, and what I have developed in my body, which you can do it too. So okay, first thing is there's 3 type of different stuff, which is a different phenomenons on how to use force, okay, how to apply force. The first one is hitting. Okay, hit like a hammer something. Okay, so hit. So what this does is just you use force to you apply force to move physical body or physical limbs, and then you hit something, like you hammer something. Okay, so this is the most fundamental and the most basic type of force handling. Okay. The second type is what we call the force vector balancings, or we call it how to hold a structure or align, making alignment so that the structure be able to balance the force from different directions, such as the bridge here, okay, which will be able to balance force vector in different directions. Okay, so that got to do with the structure. That's the second type. The third type is what we call usually the Fa Jing, okay, which is translate to the force flow issuing. This one actually you do minimum move physically. Okay, you play with the force, but with a minimum physical move. Okay, so it's a maybe micro move, but it is different than the hitting. Hitting is that you just produce a physical movement and then use that movement. And as for the fudging is physical is supporting the force issuing, okay, or the force flow issuing. Okay, so Jing, usually people talk about it. There's 2 type of it, 2 big type. One is apply pressure, okay, like this guy apply pressure, he's applying pressure. And there can be a single instant pressure, meaning that it just apply once, okay, like this guy, apply once, or they can have a constant pressure, just constant pushing it. Okay. And there's another type is the inject force flow. Okay. The inject force flow is the reason why I name the Jing as force flow. Okay. So what is this? Okay, is it really flow? You know, like can force flow? Okay. Now, so what happened is this? Okay, what happened is force travel from feet, balls to palm and toward the target, which is usually people do when issuing force flow. Okay, and it is actually time dependent. So what does that mean? That okay, what I mean is this: first, the force appear on, say, your feet ball here, and then it progressive to your different balls, and then to your shoulder balls, and then to your wrist balls, and then it go out to the target. Okay, so see, it is a traveling, a sequential traveling, continuous on traveling. And if the force is coming up spiral, then it is spiral out. Okay, so this is the reason why I call it a force flow, because it is not the same with the applied pressure or applied constant pressure, you know, those type of stuff. Okay, so as here we can see, it applied pressure, it is a dependent of time, or it apply a pulse, which is dependent of time. Okay, so when I'm talking about force flow, I'm talking about this type of stuff. When I'm talking about Jing, I usually talk about this type of stuff. Okay, not this type. Okay, even though somebody might think this is Jing, and but usually this is a very rare mention, and this is what I understand and what I experience. Okay, and many internal arts practitioners talk about this. That's why in Chinese we call this Jing Liu, okay, or Jing flow. Okay, so this is I like to make it clear here. Okay. Okay, so to issue Jing, to Fa Jing, okay, as we talk about Fa Jing, to issue force flow, okay, you need to know a few things, at least 3 things you need to know. First is you need to know the locations of Jing generation. Where do you generate it? Okay, so you want to Fa Jing, want to issue, so from where do you really initiate it, start it? Okay, or where is the source or the root of the Jing generations? Okay, and then you need to know the Jing path, which path the Jing flow will flow through. Okay, will take, or which path the Jing flow will take, or the force flow will take, and then of course the Jing flow or the force flow. So you need to know these 3 things in order to do a Fa Jing. Okay, again, you know where do you start it, you know which path you are taking, and then you need to know how do you handle that flow, or another word is that how is the force travel from one point to the target, okay, or from the root point or the initial point to the target. You need to know these 3. Okay, so Fa Jing, actually you need to know that, otherwise we really don't know what we are talking about. Okay, now in Jing generations, actually there's 2 types. There's the yang type, or what I call the action force type, and then there is a reaction force type, which is I call is yin yang balance type. Okay, by the way, this yang type or the yin yang balance type I didn't invent that term. Okay, if you go to look at the internal martial art in the Chinese ancient descriptions or the way how they call it, those are there. Okay, I just try to translate it as close as possible to English so that you guys won't get lost. Okay, later on you can check. Okay, or yeah, that's a Chinese term for it. Okay, and of course later on you want to go scientific, whatever, however you want to name it, I'm okay with it. Okay, that you know, just that for me that's not important. The important is to know what it is. So what is this? What is about this action force type? Action force type is mean like this guy. He's pushing this big block here. He just generate the action force via his feet ball here. Push it out. Okay, push it out. That is a yang force type. Majority of today's so-called Jing. Okay, if you see people doing push hands or those kind of stuff, it's majority of them is a yang type of Jing. Okay, which is they just push in one directions, and of course when you push in this directions, using the action force, there will be a reaction force. Okay, but usually they just use this action force. That's why it's called yang type. Okay. And yang type, normally you can see the body will slightly lean forward, okay, because they have to push their body like when they push a car, those kind of stuff, okay. And then there is the yin yang balance type, or the reaction force type. So the reaction force type is like this pogo stick, okay. It always initiate with a force, action force going down to the ground. Okay, like this pogo stick going down to the ground, and then it have a reaction force come up. So it's the black one is action force, the reaction force coming up. So actually they're issuing out this reaction force instead of issuing out this action force. Okay, so if this is yang force, this is yin force. So with this, is actually they make use of yin yang in the same time. As for this one is only used for the yang, okay, the action. This one is actually the action and reaction force in the same time, but they're using the reaction force as the one which is issue out. Okay. So I want to make that clear. Okay. So in other words, that in the yin yang type or the reaction force type, I call it, is always start with the reaction force to the ground, and then the action force going to the ground, and then the reaction force which is going to issue out. As for this one is using the action force to issue directly. Okay. Okay. So let's go through the Yikam force rise from ground Qing flow diagram. Okay. So what happened is this. Okay. What happened is that if this is my action force, the black one, this is my reaction force. Okay. So I started with, I inject an action force to the ground. Okay, I inject to the ground. Okay, coupling to the ground. Okay, and then I use the reaction force to issue outward. So action force going down to the ground, reaction force to issue outward. So okay, so the path I take here